Hello, I'm here to talk about the causes of burnout among hospital employees. One of the main reasons of burnout is due to excessive workloads. Many times these workloads come from emergency situations, working in emergency rooms, or patient care. A lot of times when scheduling's made, they don't always have the ability to take into account certain emergency situations that might arise within the community or within the region. And many a times it's excessive workloads causes undue stress to the employees working in these fields. Another reason for and cause for burnout among employees in a hospital setting is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, 365-day work environment. At any time, many nurses are on call and can be called in along with doctors at any hour, at any time during the day or week, no matter what kind of day it is. Many people enjoy having holidays and weekends, nights and evenings off, but this is not something that can be enjoyed by anybody that works in the healthcare industry, especially a hospital setting. Another big contributing factor to burnout is occupational allergies. Because of the wide varieties of allergies in a healthcare worker might come in contact with, this leaves the healthcare worker with stress of the possibility of developing these same allergies as their patients are treating. Getting along to a couple of the major issues of burnout causes, one would be emotional involvement. Many a times in the healthcare industry, you're dealing with death and serious illness, and this is human nature to care about the ones that are suffering and coming to the end of their lives. Many a times healthcare workers develop personal friendships and kind of a closeness with these patients, and when these patients die or become deceased, it leaves a big void. And once a healthcare worker starts getting too attached to these employees or to these patients, then it starts causing undue stress, especially if you're losing patients, like in a nursing home situation, day after day, week after week, that you're coming emotionally close to. And it's very hard in human nature to develop a barrier to separate your emotions from your job, in this case, a hospital setting. Another huge cause for employee burnout is the exposure to infections. Many of these exposures can be life-threatening or non-life-threatening, and some of the life-threatening diseases that maybe a healthcare worker could be exposed to is AIDS, HIV, the MRSA disease, which is commonly referred to as MARS, and tuberculosis. Any of these at any time a healthcare worker can be coming in contact with and may or may not be aware of the situation that they're coming into. But not all of these life-threatening illnesses and diseases, there's also the possibility of coming in contact with non-virus diseases, flus, bloodborne pathogens, and other biological agents. And coming to work every day, day in and day out, exposing to one, if not all of these at any given work shift, could cause an enormous amount of undue stress for the employee. And day after day being exposed to these illnesses and diseases, it starts to take a toll over years and years of working in this industry, and burnout could be a cause of it. Work organization and health is another burnout issue and cause. Many things affect employees' burnout in a hospital setting, and unorganized and unhealthy environment is no exception. This unorganization and cause for burnout might be among management styles, work scheduling, job characteristics, job description, diversity and number of tasks, and employee control over decision making in their job. Poor management within a hospital can affect not only the employees, but it could affect the patients as well. When employees start having issues with their work scheduling at management styles, they might start not caring about what kind of job performance they're doing. And the last point of cause of employee burnout would be the lack of rewards and recognition. And many times, in many instances, you see on the news where top level employees are getting the recognition and getting all the rewards for all the efforts done by the lower level employees and staff of the hospital. And this, in return, could cause poor publicity, not only for the hospital, but it could cause poor work environment as well, because employees on these lower levels start having the attitude of, why go the extra mile, or why should I put any effort into this when they're dealing with patients. And the healthcare industry is a very, very poor place to have this kind of attitude. Many times the decisions these lower level employees are making might be a life and death situation. And when they start having this kind of attitude, policies and procedures might start be overlooked, because what's the point of an employee to go an extra mile to clean up something or disinfect something, never they don't even recognize for the job they're doing. So they figure, why should I do it? Never, I'm not even going to be recognized for it or rewarded for my efforts. And many times, because of the enormous workload and the stress levels being placed on healthcare employees, this could cause undue stress, but more importantly, it can cause burnout within the hospital setting employees.